you never know. Non-muters. All right, good morning, everybody. We are going to call this regular meeting of the Oversight Board of the Hill Country Regional Public Defender's Office to order at 9:38 a.m. At this time, we'll take up agenda item number 2, which is visitor and public comments, and I believe we have none this morning. Is that correct? You don't have any, right, Vanessa? Okay. All right. Having none, we will move to agenda item number 3, update from Carly Cannell, Chief Public Defender. Carly, I don't know if we told you, but we'll have you do the presentation at that dais. The green light should be on the microphone there on the stand. And then also just item that didn't make the that did not make the agenda is the actual financial report to approve it. But I did ask Carly, she's just going to present it as part of her presentation this morning, and then we'll add it to the next agenda item. But that way y'all at least have the information with you that you can look over and be ready for approval next time.
Sounds good. Okay, I have a PowerPoint. See if I can. It's a different looking button than these two. Which button? Which one? Yeah, down. Everyone go down. This is just our regular updated total open and closed case count. This is since the start of the office, since the inception, we're at 18,480. I think since I saw you all last, we have 1 trial. It was a brutal trial. There was not a lot of hope for our side, but we fought the vigorous fight. We've had a lot of cases set for trial, but we've tried so many cases now. It seems that we're really able to move our cases along. The state knows we're aggressively defending our clients. So
Carly, one quick second. One thing I just want to put on the record is that I didn't check like a quorum count, but we do have 5 voting members here at the dais, and we have 3 more that are online. Don Wineham, Judge Jones, and Tom Jones.
Right.
Thank you. Continue.
Thanks. This is just the open cases by county since our inception. It shows the total numbers, except I do believe that, excuse me? It's current. It's current. Oh, I'm sorry, the open cases right now. We have 2,412 open cases at the moment. Medina County's case count is always a lot higher than everyone else's because pretrial gets us the appointments right away before they're indicted. And some of the other counties wait until the cases are indicted. So Medina always has a large number of cases that are unfiled that we're already appointed on, but that's the number of cases that we have open right now. And this is the cases by degree. We did have 2 capital murder cases that have both been moved. One state elected to seek the death penalty, so we got rid of that case, and one we resolved, got reduced to a manslaughter case. But other than that, we've got quite a few cases, quite a few high-level felonies, and quite a few appeals that are going through the system with our advocates. This quarter, we closed, total cases we closed the entire time, 16,068. You can see that the numbers level up a little more between Kerr and Medina, because once the case gets opened and fully filed, then we're able to push them out. But that's where we stand on those. I can give everyone a packet with all these numbers if they're interested. The exciting thing that happened since our last meeting was our mental health advocates have started working. They started at the beginning of December, and so now we've really got them going. I looked at the numbers yesterday. and we're around 50 individuals that they have talked to. They are going into the jails or meeting with clients outside of jails to get the information that they need to be able to help them with their mental health during the pendency of the case. So if we can get them into some sort of treatment program or getting some sort of medication that they've never been able to get, or get them signed up with Medicaid or MHDD so they get the medication so they don't repeat offend, or maybe our main goal is to get them a better outcome of the case. If they remain on probation, put a condition of probation, that they stay on their schizophrenia medicine, or they stay on their, you know, whatever it is they need, their bipolar medication, or they continue to get treatment for their drug addiction, so that maybe we won't have as many recidivists, we don't have people sitting in jail as long. We're also using them to help get people out on bond, people who don't have a place to go, people who would get out on bond and get right back in. So they're helping them find placements for, you know, so that the state will maybe lower the bond because they now have somewhere to go, and that where they're not just gonna go and get a criminal trespass or go, you know, back to Walmart and steal breakfast again or something. So we're really excited. They're working really hard. It's, you know, it's a brand new program, and we're kind of going at this with our own unique vision. Some of the ones that we looked at around the state are a little different. And so we're going forward on that, and we've had a few turns in the road trying to figure out the best way to help people. But I'm very excited about the contacts we've made. We've met with Bryce Bodie, we've met with, or his office, we've met with offices, all MHCD and all the counties. We're meeting with everybody to try to figure out how we can all work together to help them. But our main goal is to help them with their defense, and then have information so we can pass them on after we're finished with their case, and so maybe they can take this treatment elsewhere. Do you have any questions about that? It's really exciting looking and seeing what they're doing, because we've had so many clients that we've had over and over and over again. And if we can just break the cycle of a few of them, it'll save thousands of dollars for the counties just in jail costs alone. Yes, ma'am.
If I may, when did you say, and you called them mental health advocates, is that,
Yes.
and when, how many are there and when did they start?
We have 5, we currently have 3 employees. We started with 4, and one clearly wasn't right for the position. We do a 60-day trial period with all of our positions, and she didn't work out. So we have 3 right now, but we have 3 interviews next week with people that we've already talked to before. 2 of them we've already talked to before, and we're very excited about those. So I imagine we'll be fully staffed at 5 by mid-February.
So 5, and then when did they start approximately?
December 1st is when I first walked into the office,
Okay.
with nothing. And so we're now end of January, and they've already made a whole bunch of contacts. So I'm really excited. They've made a bunch of contacts in the community with nonprofits that could be helpful, and they've made a bunch of contacts with our clients.
Did you want to talk about the grant that Bryce Bodie was able to get to match our funds?
I'll be happy to. So Kendall County didn't have in their budget for the mental health grant. So I went and met with Judge Stolarczyk and Commissioner Region and Bryce Bodie, who is the head of the mental health division of the county.
Hill Country Family Services.
Thank you. Hill Country Family Services. And they, because it wasn't in Kendall County's budget, they were concerned about where they were gonna have the funds. And so he had grants available, so he was able to fund it for the county for this year, which was great. So we're working closely with them anyway, just like we are with all of the different organizations in the area, in the different regions and different counties, in order to be able to get the best help for these sick individuals.
So question, the Kendall County unit that is not part of Hill Country MHDD,
Yeah, it is.
it is part of,
Brasburg is on the board.
okay, so it's through Hill Country MHDD.
I can't tell you that. I know the
Yeah.
price is on the
It's,
board.
no, it's, Bryce may be on the board of Hill Country MHD, but it's a different organization through Kendall County. Is it a Kendall County organization?
Yes, it's a nonprofit in Kendall County serving the
Because I was
those in
unfamiliar,
need.
I was unfamiliar with it, but
Yes, but he was very excited about our program, and he was willing to use some of their grant funding, and he got permission from that grant to fund the Kendall County's portion for this year. So that was a really great just start right at the beginning of collaboration with other groups.
Okay. They still, they know they were part of it, but they're not part of it. they collaborate, I hope, with Hill Country MHDD.
Oh, yes, all of these organizations work together. And actually, as our mental health advocates have gone out into the community, the networks and the knowledge that everyone has of what everyone else is doing is fantastic. And they've really been able to assist us and because we're looking for kind of a different kind of help than maybe they're looking for people. Because our ultimate goal always will be and always has to be for the grant, improving indigent defense. And so our goal is to help these people get a better outcome, better results, and to make sure that we provide the best defense for them. And these other organizations' goals are different, and they're also extremely important. But if we can work together to get, help humanity and help with their defense, that's great. And so we can have them as a resource to say, okay, we've now gotten this person out on probation when we didn't think we could, because we got them in treatment, from the beginning, they started in therapy or they started on the medication or whatever it was they needed to do. And now we're finished with them, and we have to be finished with them at that point when we're finished with the case. But here's a resource. Go see Hill Country Family Services, go see MHGD, go see so-and-so. And we have the information to give them so that they know where to go. Oftentimes, we're going to be able to introduce them to the people before we kind of let them go. So we're not their mental health providers, we're not their therapists. We are more like they're an aid to the lawyers to get the mitigation, to get the information in order to help these clients not spend the rest of their life in prison just because they couldn't get the health services that they needed because they don't have the capabilities to even figure out how to start. I've been with the office now almost 5 years, and it is like these same names over and over and over again, especially on the misdemeanors. And we were so tied to what we could do. And I mean, like this weekend, it's going to be so cold, and we have homeless clients, and it's very scary to just we still have to try to get them released from custody, and that's our job. And then we let them release to 15 degrees and they know where to go. They're going to do something wrong in order to stay alive. So working together as a team to find placements and helping and sending them off to different services that they don't even know existed, or they don't know how to get to or contact. It's really neat. I'm really excited about it. And I think it's really cool that that you all in our office can be part of starting something that, really could change a little bit of the face of criminal defense. And maybe we can impact 10% and prevent them from coming back. And that would save the counties tons of money and just help humanity in general.
So if I may comment,
Sure.
I am very pleased with how this looks like it's going to play out, because it looks like that was a missing piece. As you said, you're the legal representation, and working with Hill Country Family Services and Hill Country Daily Bread, just as a donor and volunteer, I know that they address generational poverty. And it's hard to believe, but these people have learned helplessness where they don't know how to go and dress for a job and interview for a job and how to shop and how to budget and, all the simple things that we take for granted. And so for those repeat offenders that are truly acting out of generational poverty and need, then I see this as a big help. So.
Great. Well, I really appreciate that support. And I mean, if we can change the grant from one family tree, just to get it from continuing, to go, just like you said, generationally, it could really change the future. And there's some great organizations in all of the counties. Some of them I knew about, some of them I didn't, and it's really exciting to find them and be able to find them. And we're even working on finding outpatient competency restoration programs, because people are sitting in the jail at $100 and whatever a day in solitary, just getting more and more frustrated, waiting to regain competency or waiting for a state bed. And we're looking at different outpatient competency restoration services that are available. There's some in San Antonio, trying to find those kind of placements to get them out of the jail and into competency restoration, so that hopefully that'll save the county's money and it'll help these people not just get crazier and crazier sitting in jail. Any other questions? Would you give me my copy? Thank you so much. Okay, thank you. Okay, thanks. Next, I wanted to talk a little bit about the salary supplements. This is the 2-year grant salary supplement that we've been talking about forever and ever. We went through, these charts aren't on the PowerPoint?
Yeah,
The charts are not on the PowerPoint? No, okay. I made some charts, which I'm going to pass around. Can you, there are like packets right here. Can you guys give
Is
them?
it, Carly, can we just, we can take this up in 8, right? It's all part of agenda item 8.
I'm not looking at the agenda, but if you.
I mean, well, it's the whole, we're talking about the TIDC, the one time on 8. Because all these are those items. Let's just take all this piece of it up in 8. We'll get, when we get to 8, we'll just open and let you do basically this presentation
Perfect.
part.
And then in that case, are there any other questions I'll have for me? We had one employee, leave. She gave us her notice day before yesterday. She's one of our very, very, very strong attorneys. We were, really sad. She's been with us for a while. She cried when she gave us notice because she loves working for us. But she left, because of salaries. And that was the only reason. So I'm just letting y'all know that while I'm around.
And were you gonna go through the financial,
Oh.
the financials? They're in here also, right?
Okay,
They're not on PowerPoint, but they're the agenda
Okay.
packets that were posted.
okay.
Okay, all right, so they're actually in the packet. I don't
I
have a
guess if
copy.
anybody has a question over the agenda package salaries, the best person to answer this.
It's really information purposes today, but if y'all want, if you have any questions on them, we can answer any questions for sure. I don't know if y'all have, you have your copy? Okay. Well, it's in your packet. So again, if y'all want to just review it, because next time, if you have any questions, you can always reach back out to our auditor's office if there's any questions or concerns on it. But if not, we'll have it on the next agenda to take up the approval of it. Is there anything significant on that report? I mean, it's all pretty normal from what I saw. Anything, Beverly, that you think we need to just add for the board? Okay, all right. Okay, all right. Well, if that's the case, then we will, thank you. Thank you for the update. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move to agenda item number 4, which is our consider approval of the October 10th, 2025 HCRPDO Oversight Board Special Meeting Minutes. You have a copy of those. The only item that I had on there that I wanted is on item number 8 in the motion, and we have in here that we amended it to reflect it as part-time. At least on our side of it, is that should be temporary part-time because it matters to us on the HR side as far as benefits and those things, because this wasn't for benefits. So I'd like to make sure that we just reflect in here that that is a temporary part-time position, not just a part-time position.
I think, and I don't have my phone with me, but I think that in one of the motions we made, Tom Jones a judge already instead of commissioner. Did it say?
Seconded by Commissioner Tom Jones. I see that one.
I thought, what's,
Amended by Judge Jones. It says amended by Judge Jones, seconded by Commissioner Jones on that one. Let me just look at all of them.
What are we talking about?
On the
on the
minutes,
minutes.
he thinks somewhere in here that it has, it's missed calls, maybe commissioner is judge or vice
I
versa.
may be confused.
The one I just happened to look down at was not. Let me see. Motion by Judge Kelly, second by Judge Evans. See, Judge Evans moved to accept, oh, okay. Oh, no, that's right. Judge Jones. Judge Evans moved, Judge Angel Jones seconded. Judge Evans, Judge Jones. Nothing on 10.
But maybe I may be.
Yeah, I
confused.
think the one that I looked at it's actually is correct, so.
So depending on the election, we're gonna have to be really careful, or y'all will. How here. Which Jones it is. So.
Right, absolutely.
So nothing further on the correction of the minutes?
Yeah.
No, that's all I had was that on item 8.
Move approval.
Okay, with the correction?
Yes.
Okay. I have a motion.
A second.
Okay, I have a motion from Judge Evans, second by Commissioner Weesion, to approve the October 10th meeting minutes with the one correction in item 8 to temporary part-time. Is there any other discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, item number 5, discuss and consider approval of the December 12th, 2025 special board meeting minutes.
That was a no action meeting, right?
Yeah, I didn't have anything on that one. I was good. I'd entertain a motion on it. If not,
I'll make the motion.
you have a motion from Judge Evans,
Second.
have a second from Commissioner Jones. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 6, discuss and consider hiring an attorney to represent the Hill Country Regional Public Defender's Office Oversight Board. So I did have a conversation, Judge Kelly sent me Chuck Kimbrough with Bickerstaff to visit with him. I did have that visit with him. Unfortunately, it doesn't work for him. He's already has a general services agreement, I believe, with your
Correct.
county.
Right.
I believe with your county. So there's a conflict there, so that doesn't work. He gave me a suggestion of a gentleman, some of y'all probably know him, Tom Crampets. He highly recommended him. I did visit with him as well. He's going to get back to me in a few days, but he really feels like he has a conflict. He's all the way in Fort Worth. He said he loves this idea. He'd love to do it. But he was involved in the border, was that protection unit that they had where he was like one of the prosecutors on some of the border stuff. And he's afraid that that's probably a conflict. So he is checking on that and is going to get back to me. So right now I don't have anybody solid, but my conversations with both were good. They think it's a good idea, but we just have to find somebody, which I'm starting to think may be a little more difficult than we thought, that you find somebody that's not somehow involved in some piece of this. So, also, you know, Bickerstaff, you know, they really value their relationships with the counties and stuff and don't want to get on the opposite side of that in a conflict. So that's my update.
What is the conflict?
What's that? Well, they're representing the PDO, and that's going to go back to the county, and the county's going to have their attorneys look at it, and it's kind of like they have general services agreement, like in this case, and it's like they're on both sides of it. So he's like, we just can't put ourselves there, which I get. So I feel confident we can find somebody. Hopefully by the next meeting, we can have someone. It's just taken some hunting to get this done.
Got to be somebody in San Antonio that could do it.
Well,
We don't have to go to Austin. I don't
Yeah.
think.
well, this was,
We use Mike Shaughnessy. I can't remember what firm he's with. I give his information.
yeah, and if you could send me that, I'm gonna write down the name.
Mike Shaughnessy.
Who is that?
He's an attorney he's represented us through attack before. So he's been assigned. He's a sharp guy.
What is his name?
Shaughnessy,
Shaughnessy.
Mike Shaughnessy. SHU, I can't remember how to spell it, but
And Judge Luce, was it Cantic or Crantic?
Crampton.
Crampits,
Okay.
Krampitz.
Right. That's right. He's a forward.
so.
So we may have a problem with anybody that has represented one of the counties in the PDO may assert the same conflict.
Yeah, certainly if they are currently.
Even with Shawnee's.
But he's not current.
Well, I understand.
But he might.
Yeah, so I will continue certainly working on it. I think we can find somebody, just gonna take a little.
So how's this gonna work? How we gonna pay for it?
Well,
I have no
through the PDO budget, we have a line in there to be able to pay for, well, I forget what the line was.
Extra salary, extra,
Professional fee.
Yeah.
Education.
So we're able to pay for it out of that budget.
Continuing education. What'd you say?
Because I encourage all of the attorneys to apply for scholarship, and so we usually end up with extra money in that.
So we'd have to do a lot of Because we don't,
Correct.
we do not have it in our budget for
Right, no, we'll
Legal
have
counsel.
to, no, we'll have
It'd be a
to,
budget amendment.
we'll have to do a budget amendment.
budget amendment and a line item transfer.
I mean, you got the money, but we gotta move it from
Yes.
one.
Correct.
correct.
So we're looking at every public defender qualifies for scholarship for COA, they just have to do the applications.
Okay,
And
so
I think unless y'all think different, I think what we're shooting for is just kind of like y'all have with these others, just a general services agreement, right? So we call if we need it, but no kind of retainer, just general services. If
it
we
would be
need a project,
between-
we call them.
it would be between the board and that attorney,
That's correct,
oversight board.
right?
So that attorney answers to the chair. You, if anything is needed, you would contact the PDO is just gonna pay for it out of their budget, but they have no oversight or input to that person.
Correct.
Is that right?
That would be my,
Say that again?
The PDO, they would have no interaction with that attorney. It would be with us, and then if there
Board.
was something, the board would,
It would be
It's-
representing the board.
Right.
Yeah,
not
so-
us.
right.
And this is for the ILAs between the counties and the
Well, the
PDO?
ILAs, anything we want to do on updating,
What's it
our,
for then? If she's shaking her head, and I'm trying to. figure out.
Well, the ILA, isn't that the interlocal agreements,
Right?
but this
very skeletal
attorney
right now.
would just be overseen by the board. It would be a general service agreement between this board and.
right,
that
but
attorney.
on this board side, they would be representing the ILA from the PDO.
Oh, I see what you're
On
saying.
this, that's
To
correct.
draft
So they
that,
would
you
do the ILA, anything we have on where we're trying to work on, if we have anything on our membership and our policies, they would represent that side of it. And then at that point, puts us in a position to go back to our respective attorneys and let the county side look
You
at
know
it.
what we may want to do is, we've been looking on the tax side, Texas Association of Counties, because that's who we work with all the time. Maybe we ought to go look up some TML lawyers. You know what, Cami and San Antonio, one of those guys, because they represent cities. They do local governments,
Right.
but they wouldn't have a conflict with us because they don't work with counties.
Correct.
Mm.
Agree.
I mean,
Yeah, no, I agree, because that's what we're gonna need. We're gonna
I
need something out of
know
our
Nick personally,
wheelhouse.
I'd have to give him a call and just see what his recommendation would be to get somebody that's not conflicted out. Because all of our networks are getting conflicted because they represented one or more of us.
Right. And the other thing that I was gonna do too is I was gonna, after this conversation with Crumpets, was reach out to TIDC and see if anybody else is doing this has a representation that's already doing this for a oversight board. Maybe they could
They
give
might.
us a name.
They might, because they'd be working with cities as well. as
Yeah, so
counties.
somebody else that was doing it, so. But I feel confident we can get there, just not there yet. The first two were, and it made perfect sense when we started talking about it. It's like, no, we don't want that. We need to make sure have clear delineation
Well,
between
if one
us
of us has
here.
worked with them, then they're gonna automatically be conflicted out, so we need to find somebody that none of us have worked with,
Right,
Mhm.
agreed,
which may be TML lawyers.
right.
I mean, you know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of good ones of those too. There's
They
a
are.
bunch of
but they
TML
don't
side.
touch counties and
Right.
that doesn't mean they don't know how to represent us.
Right,
But as a general rule, there's a whole group of lawyers that represent cities, municipalities, and a whole group of lawyers that represent counties.
Right.
And we need to probably look outside our group.
so you're gonna call?
I call Mick. And just get some names.
yeah, and then
Get
I'll
some
do the
firms.
same to TIDC to
Yeah.
see if they have any. But we'll come up, by the text meeting, I feel confident we'll come up with something and
Well,
Okay.
I'll be able to,
Just
do that.
but always remember TIDC doesn't run our PDO.
correct. Well, I was just looking for an attorney name if they
Yeah, I
had
know.
somebody else out there,
I
so
know, but
that's already doing what we're asking to do.
make it unsolicited guidance, but
Any other comments from y'all online, about that? Does that sound like a plan for y'all?
Sounds good.
Sounds like a good plan.
Dan, you're familiar with the TML group of lawyers, right?
I am, yes.
I was talking about Dan Jones.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, you know those folks over there, so.
Did you say you were gonna, Judge Kelly, did you say you were gonna call McCamey?
Yeah, I'm welcome for you, you sit on the call, because I know you were the city attorney there, right?
That's fine. Yeah, he's actually representing us right now on some outside litigation.
Well, see, there you
There's
go.
your conflict.
Well, but he
Yeah.
can refer us to somebody that maybe doesn't have a conflict.
Yeah, he may know somebody that's, in San Antonio that could help us.
Excellent. All right, well, we'll all continue. We'll make it a high priority. We'll figure it out by the next meeting. We'll find somebody. All right, we'll move to agenda item number 7, discuss and consider updates to the Hill Country Regional Public Defender Office Oversight Board membership and policies. Well, this is a work in progress. I know, Commissioner Weesion, you handed out, would you like to go over, do you want to go over what you handed out?
Sure,
We don't have this available.
as backup
Do you have this,
in digital,
do you by any chance?
email it.
Well, I'm just thinking for the,
Oh, to share the document?
yes, do you have it? We could put it on the thumb drive. Give us 1 second online there. We're gonna save off what got handed out here. And,
It's included in the packet that was sent out, correct?
yes.
No.
No, this wasn't. This was just handed out. No, it's not in there. It's a. But we'll put it up on the screen for y'all. Give us 1 second here.
Can you share your screen, Vanessa?
Yes, I just have to transfer it over to this computer, so just.
All right, there we go. All right, y'all can see online, correct? Go ahead and just make it single page if you would, like you had it before, and yeah, big as you can, and then we can just kind of slide it down the page because online it's probably fairly small. So can you zoom in on it? Yeah, and then we just, as she goes down and we'll move it. How's that look online for you all?
Very readable.
Readable? Okay, great.
That's good.
Okay, so a lot of you are attorneys and I'm not. So this is just a layperson's looking at this kind of more from the bottom up rather than trying to edit a document that we already have. And I reviewed this with our general counsel and got some of the code of criminal procedure and just made some observations and kind of some considerations and then question for discussion. So that's the kind of the format that I laid it out. So I don't want to read to you. Y'all can kind of read, and this is just opening this up for discussion. If you want to try to have the discussion now, Chairman, or take this away and then have this as a document that we can come back and continue the conversation, what would you prefer?
I think if you just kind of run through it, that's fine. And then, I mean, I don't think we're going to solve this again today. I personally feel very important that this is one reason we need the attorney with us on this document before we're all done. So,
I think you're right, or else that leaves us to 5 different attorneys, our general counsel for each county, which that's going to get very, very sticky and confusing. So I'll just give you all a minute to read this. And I've already read it, so maybe you could kick it off, Judge.
okay, yeah, so on one, the advisory role versus governing roles, or you want me to, I guess I'll read through this thing. Article 26045 of the Code of Criminal Procedure, the Oversight Board's intended to be advisory in nature unless specific authority is delegated by the State Commissioners Court. The statute consistently uses language like recommending and developing proposals rather than adopting or directing. So, and then your considerations about making sure that we're using that properly. Does anybody have any comments on that particular item?
On Article 26.04.
26045.
So I guess what the words that stick out in my mind are specific authority is delegated by participating commissioners courts
Correct.
in the observation, and then questions for discussion where final authority rests. And to my mind, this is an oversight board of this, if you will, this project, but all money being spent has to come from the original 5 commissioners courts and they have to approve it. And I think our court has felt like decisions were made that were encumbering our court to spend money when only our court can spend money. And not that we don't want to, we want to participate, want to be able to allocate the appropriate funds to get this done. But it was a little bit like the tail wagging the dog rather than, and that was nobody's fault. It just was communication wasn't coming to our commissioners court. So
Right. Well, I mean, we can't speak for what happened there because I mean, obviously we do know that, I mean, that information was being given, right? So I'm not sure exactly the communication at the other side of that. That's like,
Well,
Not even
let's go
in
back
our
to the beginning of this.
purview.
Judge Schuhart and I talked to the TIDC people. This PDO is a creation of the 5 counties, period. And anything that the PDO does, we go back to the counties to get approval. Right?
right, through our interlocals and.
Right. And so I'm not sure what the concern is here. The PDO put together their policies. And we had each one of the 5 courts approve them. Took us a little time to get it done, but we got it done. It took what, 6 months or so. If we need to revise our policy, is that what we're talking about doing here?
Yes.
To say what?
well, because
The county's already controlled.
it's more oversight rather than governing, I guess, is the distinction that I just want to make sure that the document has.
That's your.
Well,
general
it's
counsel.
oversight of what they do. Okay. The counties make up the PDO. The 5 of us make it up. So I'm not sure what more you want the counties to do other than empower this organization to oversee what they do. What more do we want?
Right. Well, for me, the clarity in here, and again, I mean, we can individually do these, and I think the only clarity I'm looking like from our side is that, you know, when you come to the financial agent, because I actually drew to the one thing that was in this that I just read about the commissioner courts and stuff is like, I think we need to figure out clearly like what authority, like what can my court as the administrator delegate away to this board? Because I know it talks about having that agreement in there, and I'm not saying that ours won't, because there certainly are rules out there that allow for this, right? It's different because of us having the 5 agencies.
I'm just trying to understand what we're trying to do here, because we've got the 5 counties form the PDO.
Mhm.
And the PDO oversees their operations. The PDO makes recommendations back to the counties from time to time. So what are we trying to do with number 1? I'm not sure I understand. There's no micromanagement here. We don't have any one of the counties telling the PDO what to do. We don't have the PDO telling any one of the counties what to do. We're working under the agreement that we have, the policies.
But you're talking about the tail wagging the dog. I mean, we go through budgets and I mean, it's open and we all look at it, we decide things. I mean, I think maybe participation by your county may have been lacking sometimes. But that, I mean, we all do what we're getting into and we all, right? I mean.
Yeah, I think some
of
of the information, obviously, if the information, we can't speak to if the information was getting back, but we certainly have shared the
The
information.
protection when we formed it was that no one county would tell the other counties what to do. And Kerr County started off as the original fiscal agent of the PDO. And we changed that to Medina County. But Kerr County could not tell the 5 members of this organization what to do, nor can Medina County tell this organization what to do. It is advisory back to the counties to tell them, this is what we want to do.
Right.
And so when it comes to budget, that's presented to the counties. I don't see where the counties can come in and micromanage their portion of this budget. Is that what you're trying to do?
Well, I guess at the end of the day, if a county does not allocate the money, they're not obligated to allocate the money.
Yeah, then, yeah, you either participate or you don't. I mean, the county can
And
say we're not participating.
That's true, but
That is
that's an
true.
in or out.
So
You
we
stay in the
vote,
organization or you get out of the organization.
Yeah, that's true.
we vote on the budget and we vote on salaries and we vote on the expenditures. And at any point, if a county believes that, well, that is excessive or, you know, we don't agree, then I guess they don't allocate the money.
Right, and then you'd be out.
Then we become a
Well,
four
And
county.
then that leads to the other question, then, you know, do they no longer participate?
Well, if they're not.
We have the automatic option every year to get out. And everybody has zealously guarded that right, that we have the right to get out if we feel like we need to. And I forget the deadlines on that, but we've got to give, what, 90 days notice or
I
something,
think that's correct.
written notice, to do that. But we don't get to micromanage the organization.
Mhm.
We just have a thumbs up or a thumbs down vote. And so far, we've all stayed together.
Yeah, and I think the words advisory oversight, what you're saying, that's what advisory oversight is. And some of this stems from us not having the proper people in place and not having the communication. So I'll take that and know.
What proper people, I'm not following.
Well, we had someone that was not really representing the Commissioners Court on this oversight board, and it only came to my attention. When did I first come? Last April?
Well, the counties give us the people, so who are we talking about? What are we talking about? I don't know.
Our representative wasn't communicating with our Commissioners Court.
Well, your judge is a permanent member of this
Yes.
oversight board.
Well, I don't want to publicly criticize anyone. I'm
Well,
just
not
explaining the
criticizing. I'm
situation.
What are
making a
we talking
statement of
about,
fact.
Elkins?
If you're not here,
Yes,
you
that's what
don't
she's-
participate.
Well, we got Elkins because Kendall County gave us Elkins,
I understand.
okay?
Yeah.
And what Kendall County's relationship was with Elkins is between Kendall County and Elkins.
And that is not your issue. I'm taking that issue. I'm just telling you from my perspective, that's what happens. And so we're already kind of starting over. I mean, you see who's here today.
What do you mean? We're starting over for what?
If the Commissioners Court felt like it hadn't had the communication from our representative, we've been in the dark. And so now we are
We're talking about
putting.
Kendall then.
Yes,
Okay.
Kendall County, I'm speaking for we, are
Okay.
putting the best foot forward to commence getting on board
Right.
and making sure we have communication so that we can participate fully.
Right? But that's Kendall County's responsibility.
That's my,
just like it's
I
our
said this is
responsibility.
not this issue, it's not
But
anybody's
we-
issue
but we
except Kendall
do-
County.
But every meeting we have, whether anybody elects to come or not, they get the packet.
Right.
I mean, it is sent out, so it's not like your judge is a member of the board, he got the packet. So it didn't, it didn't have to be shared by the other member, he got the packet, right?
Could y'all help me with some confusion
Yes,
here?
County.
Is it because y'all's lack of, representation, you've acknowledged that? Are you asking us to change our bylaws?
I'm not asking you to change your bylaws because of Kendall County's lack of representation. We're talking about modifying the bylaws because I thought there was an agreement that we needed to address some changes in the bylaws. This is just a starting point from my perspective, and I received no other feedback other than something from Judge Kelly. You had comments on the governing document from Garrett, I believe. Comments from Garrett, and I haven't received anything else. So, as I said, we can go through this document or you can take it and then get your comments back. It was just to start the conversation since I am a committee member.
I think one of the main things we have to decide is who has final say on the salary? That's where we had the big blow up before. We have to decide, do we set the salary and Medina County does what we say? Or does Medina County set the salary as employees of Medina
Right,
County?
and that's part of the clarity that I'm looking for.
Right,
And
I
that-
mean, that was the big, that's where we had all.
Additionally, I mean, some of the questions that I think I threw them out last time that bear with me here. They're definitely in my goodies here somewhere.
Well, with regard to setting salaries, we just have a discussion about that. The intent was never to have the PDO set their own salaries. The PDO comes to the oversight committee for approval to set the salaries. The intent was never to have any one county, the fiscal agent, set the salaries. Nobody wanted Kirk County to set those salaries. Nobody wants Medina County to set the salaries. They want the five of us to agree, the five counties to agree through our various representations. Each county has two except for Medina, which you got a vacancy, but everybody got two right now. Those are the people that decide the salary. If the counties don't like it, the counties have to give feedback to their members on that committee to voice their concerns about it. And all of that stuff is done with plenty of advance time to be able to get that information back to our home counties. So I'm trying to understand what the issue really is here.
Well, for me, it is,
From you.
yeah, clarity part says all
What,
mine
and
is.
so my position with regard to your issue is, no one county decides anything in this oversight committee.
Mhm.
That was why we put all the 5 county judges on there. So that every county would have a say in what we do. And, we have a say on the basis of the votes, not on the basis of our case count. Every county gets 2. If one's not working, it's up to that county to fix it. So, I mean, it sounds like that y'all have addressed that. I didn't realize we had a problem with Commissioner Elkins, but there was a problem. That's something that has to come from Kendall County. We don't have anything to do with Judge Elkins. I mean,
Granted.
Commissioner Elkins.
Yes, I understand.
But one of the reasons that we made sure the county judges were on the oversight board, because the county judges are the ones that have to produce the county budget.
That's right.
So we, if you're on this board and you know what's coming, and you're the budget officer, and you should be cognizant of what you need to do for next year. That's the purpose. One of the purposes of having the county judges on here.
And in the past, trust me, we have squawked.
I'm sorry.
We have squawked among ourselves. When we look at it, like, you want me to go back and get my court to approve that? Because the courts have to approve it.
No, but, and again, some things in here that are not in these rules, like with the financial side of it. Those are things that I'm still looking for clarity on. And first of all, I'm looking for some of this now because I value this was the knowledge at the beginning of this that's not going to be with us. So it's really important to me. I want to have a document at the end of the day that's black and white. Like truly I can understand and say, no matter who reads that, it's understood what those responsibilities are. Because I know I brought up last time, when it comes to, we don't have anything in about the future of retirement. How's that shared? We got unemployment. That's not like, how does that get handled? Is it getting absorbed through it? But there's no clarity. I just want a document that no matter who sits in the chair in the future can go, I understand this. And that's all out of the whole thing, that's all I'm looking for. It's like a lot of vagueness.
And Keith, I think I understand where you're coming from. I'm talking about a very broad general governance document, like a constitution. Okay, so we have a constitution. If we need to have specific policies, we can write specific policies. Whether it's on retirement, whether it's on unemployment, whatever these issues are, we can write specific policies to say those are going to be our policy, the way we're going to deal with it. But in terms of if Kerr County were to come back and tell, if we were still the fiscal agent, and tell you this is what we're going to do, it would still be subject to the approval of this board. Same thing with Medina County. If we want to write that policy, and you do write the policy, come up with a draft, we come back, this board has to approve that policy in order for it to go into effect. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I think they have to agree. You gotta
And I
make
say
sure
you need
that-
more specificity just in the nuts and bolts running of this operation, which I have no doubt you need.
But we do not have employees, this oversight board.
Correct.
We do not. So that means that Medina County, as a fiscal agent, you have to take care of unemployment,
That's right.
all that stuff, and in retirement and everything else. I think what we have to decide, vacation, holidays, do you give Medina County vacation, holidays, sick leave and all that? And does the board say this is what we're gonna pay, and then?
What
If
we've
we-
done historically is whichever county was the fiscal agent, you followed their policies.
Right, which is what we're doing
Well, I
currently
think
through
we
HR.
have
That's
to,
what
we
we're
have to,
doing.
because we don't have employees.
That's right.
They're employees of Medina County.
But another example of that on the HR side would be that in here, it's set up that, the oversight board is the one that interviews and basically does the hiring of the chief, right? So one of my questions, which I would like to have clarity on, is, okay, now we have the chief. What if something comes up HR related? What's the immediate? Is it me as the board president that takes immediate action? Is it my HR department, that needs to address it? Because technically we so those are the kind of things that I have on my list.
Historically, what happened when Kerr County had is if there was an HR issue, it went to our HR director.
Well, and it does, and it does everybody, I'm just talking about the chief position specifically.
I think it says
Because in this case,
bylaws.
the chief is kind of like, this has the communication with the chief. The chief is, everybody under her, we're doing through our HR.
Well, the way the bylaws are now, I think, our rules is we recommend a chief and then the Medina County approves it.
And I agree with
Yeah,
that,
that what
but
it says?
I'm still back to, because part of me says, hey, are you gonna get the whole group together to talk about the chief position specifically? And now, I mean, because some things, right?
I think the best example that I could use is say, the chief of probation, juvenile probation. Okay.
That's under the board.
Huh?
That's under the board,
Under the
of
juvenile.
the juvenile board.
That's right. But then all of the employees are under Kerr County, whichever county has the juvenile probation department, under the respective counties' rules.
And that's how we're doing it.
HR, and that's the way it should be.
So the only question I'm talking about is the chief.
The chief reports to this board.
Okay, so now
This committee.
I have an immediate HR issue. Something goes down and I need to address it. Somebody needs to address this. Is it
Inside her,
only the chief position, not her organization, her?
You have an
she's,
emergency.
so she's the problem.
I don't want to say she, but the chief, because she's not a problem. I don't want it to turn
Well, I'm just trying to
We
give you an
have,
example.
I am being, this is extremely hypothetical. It's about one position. Everybody under the position, I totally understand. Everybody it's our HR. We don't have any problem. We address everybody.
I
But in
have to
her-
think about it, Keith. I
hers.
think that the chief reports to this committee.
Right. So again, that's a clarification point I'm looking for, because right now, if something happened with a chief, and it could be the other chief,
Yeah.
not this one, it could be a chief and another thing, same thing. Who takes immediate action for a real problem?
Well,
Do I have to wait on a
But the
special board
chief's
meeting and
position,
we're gonna do it? Am I
retirement
as the
still
chairman
is
taking it?
Medina County, right? I mean, like the chief position, I mean, like the retirement, unemployment,
It is,
everything
it
is still
is.
Medina
However,
County.
when you go to this oversight board is selecting and communicating with the chief. So again, that's just one example of the clarity I'm looking for, because it ought to say in here, it's either, hey, an immediate action goes to
I hear you.
the president of this, or it goes, no, you handle it at that HR level,
Okay.
and we support that.
If the PDO that is supervised by the chief has an HR problem, other than the chief, an HR problem inside that office, that goes to your.
And we're doing that 100%.
Good, that's the way I think. it
So
ought to be.
now what about her?
Her, she comes back to us.
Okay,
I think,
so I
I think if you have a serious problem.
I got a serious immediate issue.
Then you call.
What do
an
I
emer-
do?
You call an emergency meeting.
Call an emergency meeting.
Okay, so that's my question, but I want that in the document.
Okay.
That's all I'm
I
saying.
don't have a
Those are-
problem with that.
And that's all I'm saying. This is not a big deal, but it's clarity. It's like somebody should be able to read that and say, here is what here is what it is. So that's, I'm not
And I
trying
think
to
we're all on the same
recreate the
page, right?
wheel. I really am not. I want to support what we've been doing. All I want to do is get the clarity in the document that says, when y'all are gone, I'm gone, everybody's gone. Somebody looks at it and says, black and white, this is what
We
happened.
just need.
We
some-
hire the
That's all I'm
chief,
trying
we
to
fire the chief, we
We
manage
just
the
need
chief.
some more spokes in the wheel.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I said, we just need some more spokes in the wheel
Oh,
so we know.
so,
where to go.
and that,
Yeah, that's all I'm looking for. I'm looking for structure, clarity through the document
Well,
and adding to that.
I believe that our authority extends to her alone.
Right.
If we don't like the way she's running the office, it'll reflect in the way we treat her, we deal with her, right?
Yeah, that's what it says.
Yeah, and
I think so.
I don't disagree with that, but I'm just
But if-
saying
but
those
we
are
need to
the,
add a sentence for sufficient clarity for you to know that if there's an HR or some kind of employment related issue to the chief, it gets referred back to this board.
and that there would be emergency meeting called.
Yeah.
I mean, but I'm
If
just
it's
saying,
that
that's just
serious.
one example.
It's
It's,
just that serious.
but I have those other things like, you know, the other things we're talking about. I'm just looking for a good, clean, with better clarity.
I don't think any of us have a
Because
problem with
because
this.
I don't get to go back to y'all when you're gone. It's like, no, I want to know this history and then, okay, yes, it keeps on the same path, but here's what we're doing. Because somebody else is going to come in and I want to be able to hand your predecessors or your replacement folks the document and they can read it and say, I understand. Here's what we're doing.
The original
that's my-
intent, and you correct me if I'm wrong, Judge, was we have authority over one employee only. And that's the chief.
Yeah, and that makes
Everything
sense.
else is delegated And it is under the auspices of whatever county is
Right.
the fiscal agent.
Right. And
That
then
was-
we,
that
then
was
we
Now, problems with board membership, like you're talking about, that goes back to the respective counties.
right, absolutely. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I think we all know that. That's, having who you have representing you is up to you. I agree.
This board's authority is really very narrow.
Right,
And it has just to do with the supervision of this program where we're administering the grants from TIDC.
But we really need to clarify the salaries.
agreed with that too.
That's the big, to me, because, if we say you're an employee of Medina County, then you have to go with their grade step and salary study. If we say, no, this oversight board gets to establish a salary, and Medina County just simply has to adopt those salaries. I mean, that's where the big.
Right, and for me, that's why what I'm hoping for, back to the attorney part, why I want to have one, is we need to work through that. I'd like to make sure we have that in there. And why I want one for us is because when that's done, I'm obviously going to take that back to my attorney side and say, can I do this?
Yeah, I got you.
That's what I
I
want, the
understand where you're coming
clarity.
from. And my recollection was when we put the PDO together, because it was, Kerr County was the fiscal agent on it. We used our old antiquated step and grade system. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
And that's what we put in place for the employees, not for the chief.
Right.
But for the employees. They inherited the old Kerr County step and grade, which I'm telling you, was antiquated. Still is. But, we worked on it some. But, the employee status belongs to the fiscal agent county. The chief status belongs to this board. We establish her salary. And it's not necessarily what your salary might be for somebody in that position is what this board decides. But we don't decide what his salary is.
Right. And like I said, I'm fine with all the intent. I'm fine with getting in a document, because then what we get to do, okay, we had it prepared. Now let's take it back to our respective counties and our attorneys that look on our side. Everybody agrees with it, and we finalize the document.
Yeah,
Well, she would bring us, let's just say that you have a recommendation for the employees. And I'm gonna use step and grade because that's the system that we
Yeah,
can relate
yeah.
to, whether you like it or not.
Right.
If you got a step and grade and you come back to us and you recommend the salary that she presents to us with them based on the step and grade for Medina County. If we don't approve that, what happens?
Well, then that's
That's
That's why we're here.
That's correct. That's why we're at this that's why we're here. That's what we have to solve. We absolutely have to solve that.
We
And
have
I
to
think it
decide-
is two parts. I think it's ours and what the intent is, along with attorney says, yeah, let's put in a document. And then it's back to our respective counties, to our attorneys that say, we're in step, or no, like anything else, we need to talk about this. We need to negotiate, figure out. No, I mean, my attorney may say that that's a great judge, but you can't give that authority away to that particular item. That's all I'm looking for. And we can get there, but we need to,
You have
we gotta have the
you have
attorney.
to consider travel, holidays, sick leaves, personal time. Do we follow?
well, and
again?
right, and I think there's plenty of room to follow a lot of the things, but it's like, I want this followed, I don't want this because we want X, right? But
Yeah, that's what.
So you just want to document that and memorialize that? Because that's kind of,
Well, you're coming from, and it was problematic when we wrestled with this last year.
and we can fix it. I mean, I have 100% confidence we can fix it, but
Because we had problems with travel, remember, in the early days about when
Yeah.
we got paid, things like that, because Kerr County's policy was in
Well,
different, so we had.
the two big considerations that I recall is we wanted to make sure that this board was governed by the 5 counties, not by one county.
and I agree.
That's
with
one
that.
issue, put it aside, we know what it is.
Yeah.
The other issue is how do we run, how do we compensate and pay for this organization that we've been empowered to form, to put together a public defender's office. We've been empowered to hire her, somebody to run it. Then if they're employees of Medina County, whatever the travel rules are, whatever the 7th grade rules are, whatever the FMLA rules are Medina County's. Now, does she have to bring that to us in working with, she's got to coordinate with y'all, right? When y'all bring that to us, Do we have to accept it? Probably not. But it's gonna create a lot of chaos.
Right, and if you don't, you know, and that's, and
Right.
again, and I agree with you 100%, because that's where the clarity of what we need
I
to
know.
do, because when it goes back to my court, right, then the court goes, well, I don't care what you say, we're not varying from this, and it's our ultimate.
Well, then that's when we start bumping up against this other theory over here we've got, you know, this principle that no one county tells us what to do.
And I agree with you on that as well.
But here's where we're coming from. Once we enter into the agreement for the oversight committee, have we not delegated to the designated fiscal agent at the time to run it according to their rules? That's what we would have done back in Kerr County at the time, because we didn't have the ability to set up a separate step and grade for this office.
So I believe, I'm not gonna say we, I believe currently that's how it is. Do I think that's how it needs to be? I have no problem not having, I don't want to be like for 5 counties, the ultimate, like, oh no, this is the way it is. That's not our desire, right? But we need a document, and I need to understand the authority I can give away. And if it's something we need to document and we need to change, that my court and all of our courts maybe can say, no, we need this added in, and they need to approve the fact that we are going to forego this piece of this, and we are going to give that authority to this group. That's all I'm looking for.
I'm not
Can
sure.
I do this?
I'm not sure you can get the 5 counties to agree unanimously to do that.
Well, I think it, no,
Quite frankly.
well, let me say, in this case, I believe what I'm talking about is my court
I know.
giving that authority away that we think currently we have, that we're obligated
I don't think
to.
any
to say
single
that.
one court member of this organization would ever do that.
Yeah, well, I think it,
I'm just saying.
yeah,
I don't think I
but
could get
like
my
back
court
to the, back
to
to,
give that away.
right, but back to the
If we were the
chief.
fiscal agent, and we were responsible, and we had to handle the retirement plan, we had to handle the travel reimbursements.
But a single item, for
We're not
example,
gonna give that to this group to make that decision.
would you give only the chief's salary?
That's all that was contemplated in the agreement with the IDC.
It's contemplated, but I don't think that's officially right now says that that's what I do on my
That
side.
can be clarified, but
That's what I'm saying.
well, I'm good with that.
That's it.
I'm good with all
That's
these,
it.
all this stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
That's it.
but at the end of the day, it's a take it or leave it.
Yeah. And I'm not.
If you
in
present us a
disagreement.
salary package, a compensation package for this office, the only one that we can diddle with is hers.
Correct.
We can't go in and micromanage her employees, her Medina County's employees.
So
I don't-
Currently, I
let me
agree.
ask you a question. So when it
Correct.
comes to your budget,
Mhm.
and you have employees that are in the PDO other than the chief, does the chief need to come to the Medina County Commissioner's Court to ask for salaries? Is that what you?
No,
do?
I think the chief comes to this group, to us. And we either approve it or we don't. It's a thumbs up, thumbs down. type deal.
Correct. Yeah, we
If,
basically,
if this board, this committee, this oversight committee approves the recommendation, Medina, and let's say we're not due to Medina County step and grade, okay? Then each court of the 5 counties, we can take it or not. It's that simple. It's all or nothing. Thick.
which is, I
That's
think
my-
is where we currently are.
So if your Commissioner's Court did not accept the recommendation the oversight committee made as far as salaries for the PDO, then the PDO's gone.
Right. Well, what we used, I mean, in this case is just what
No,
he said. we
PDO's
used
not gone. It's a question of whether or not we're a member of the PDO.
It would be gone for the person who did accept salary.
I think so. And that's what, it makes sense to me that it worked that way. Somebody's got to bite the bullet and be responsible for the nuts and bolts of the cost it takes to run this department. Right. And that falls to the designated fiscal agent.
Correct.
And if we think it needs to be different than that, we can change fiscal agents. We've done it before.
Yeah, I mean, and I
The
can,
only problem is they got a great computer program.
I was gonna say, I can assure you, if somebody thinks they can do a better job with it, I think we're doing a great job. And I mean, we're not, again, I think, I want to work through this because I still think there is probably some opportunity for, to give all of the oversight this group needs, but we need to get it done properly, because I agree with what you're saying right now.
It's got to be done
Currently-
in our budget cycle. And that's one of the problems we've got with this whole thing right now, is we didn't get this done in our budget cycle.
Agreed, and we have to get it done before we get to the next budget cycle.
That's right.
And not to mention, we need to get it done while y'all are in these positions to help us with the history of this.
So
I hate to admit it, but you know where we've been.
I don't know.
I have a question to clarify, because been a lot of back and forth, and, you know, at 65 years old, I don't hear that well, so I'm trying to read Judge Evans' lips as
I
he's
don't
turned
either.
that way.
Judge, he's so loud, that's a loud speaker, that's why.
So the entire salary package of all of the personnel are part of the budget. So
They're
that, and I think this oversight board, I'm not saying micromanage and get in the weeds. I mean, if Carly comes with the presentation on why this person is here and this person there, because of qualifications and all that, but that ought to be pretty objective and a way to show. The other thing is there outside data that we would want to look at that would support or perhaps request modification for the salary package?
The problem is, yes, to all of that. Yes, there is. But what it does is has us micromanaging a county's employees because they're a Medina County employee. And that means there's an exception to certain employees within their system. And back running a county, I can tell you, that's nightmarish.
That's problematic.
Mhm.
We need to treat everybody the same. The rules are the same.
Right. That's it.
And now,
Okay.
if we think that they're overpaying, that's something we can bring up with her before we establish our budget. Once we've established our budget, we're locked in.
So it would probably behoove us to understand your salary structure.
Right, and we've shared it, but we go through, and actually, right, we're still gonna get to item 8 here in a minute and talk about that. We're obviously still talking about bylaws, because this is all bylaw. Everything we're talking about has to do with what we need to do, and we probably are to a point here to be able
How to do it before.
to
we
move
talk
on. We need our attorney in place, and we need to get the clarity in these pieces. We're not reinventing the wheel, just looking for clarity in this.
You're
in this
looking
document.
for the rules on how to do this.
Correct.
8 is, what should we do?
Right. What are we gonna do with
That's
the
a whole
grant
other
money?
thing.
That's a whole nother thing. This is bylaw related.
And where I see us and I'm just saying board, whether we call it oversight committee or whatever, just a board of oversight board here. We can't go in and micromanage your countywide employee system.
That's correct.
Not trying to do that. If we do that, then I think we have overreached the authority that we have. Now, the $64,000 question is we have to go back to our respective courts and say, you need to understand, their second grade is not the same as ours. And that was a problem when we first formed this because we had a funky step and grade. Remember, Judge?
Oh, yeah.
And there was a lot of pushback on that.
We still have scars. Yeah.
But the only choice was either the other counties accepted what we had or we didn't have a system. And I think that's the same issue that's revisiting us here with Medina County. You've got a system that we can't tinker with.
Mhm.
The only one we can tinker with is her. Sorry. No offense to Kim, but Tinkerbell. But
It all
as
comes,
much as we might want to micromanage, I don't think we have the authority to do that.
well,
And if we start trying to write a document that gives us the authority to do that,
Right.
I think it's going to be nightmarish with the 5 counties.
Mhm.
Each individual county is going to have
okay,
their own.
well, I'm
wants to do
pretty
this.
simple. I'll turn where you hear me. Okay.
Thank
But the key is Cardi has a salary schedule she's gonna present to this oversight committee, right? Am I right?
I think so.
In agenda item 8,
Yeah,
correct.
okay, so, and if we say, okay, we agree with it, and we forward it to Medina County, Medina County doesn't agree with it, you're gonna use your grading step or your study that you had done. So you have the final say. And if we don't agree with that, as a board, what do we do?
Well,
You can get
what we
out.
did when we put it together is we did our own salary survey on our own, if you remember.
Oh, yeah.
All the 5 counties, we found out how much everybody made, and it was very disparate. It was not uniform. I remember that.
But somebody has to have veto
What we
power.
did at Kirk County, I was trying to remember how we did this. I sat down with, and it was Jennifer Doss back then, remember? It wasn't even Tanya. Tanya's so much easier to work with than Jennifer Doss was. But, what we did was find the commensurate step and grade to the recommended salary because TIDC had given us salary ranges for each one of these positions. Remember that? We had that. And so we were trying to meet whatever your step and grade would, we had to find the right place to extrapolate that into what we had. And we came back with that and presented it to this group. And there was some similar grousing about all that, but it was a take it or leave it proposition. If we were going to be the
Right.
fiscal agent, it had to be part of our system.
Right.
And so that's how we agreed to it. And when we transferred it over to Medina County, I think y'all did basically the same thing. Correct.
Yeah, we had a lot
would
of,
have to.
we had a lot of pushback from your DA over there when we did salaries, you remember?
Say what?
Had a lot of pushback from your DA.
Don't get me there.
Yeah, that was one of our biggest challenges we had.
Okay, so kind of summarizing.
She's looking at us.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you have?
Never cross Lucy Wilkie. Ever.
Who?
Ever.
His district attorney.
One of them. And you know what I'm talking about.
Okay, anything else on the membership? I mean, I think at this point, what I got out of this, I think we had a lot of really good discussion. I think we kind of know, like I said, where our things are. We'll work on that. The attorney, I think, getting that in place, trying to have these notes given to them, let them look at everything so we can kind of get all of this memorialized and cleaned up.
Well, I like the discussion that we've had because we're now in a position for each one of us to be able to explain to the attorney what it is that our concern is.
Absolutely.
And how best to address that concern in our governance documents.
Yeah, so for next, I'm sorry,
Perhaps everybody should then send his or her comments,
yes.
on the document, a separate memo, however, and have Vanessa gather them so we don't get into a walking forum. So
Yeah,
that we
need
have
to-
something to
Yeah, get all of
present.
those together and have them for the attorney, or whatever it is our concerns are. So they'll have something to work with.
Sort of speak now or forever hold your peace.
Other than a few minutia things, the main thing to me is the salary piece.
Right.
Right.
I mean, that's.
And I think what we need to do
Right.
is
Yeah, no, you're correct.
I mean, that's.
let's hire a lawyer. And then let's have a meeting with the lawyer, preferably around a round table and not this format.
Right.
Where we can discuss and explain these things to them. So they can give us their recommendations back about how to do it. Because that's what we're trying to do, really, isn't it?
Agreed, yes,
And you can
definitely.
go ahead and ask your legal counsel if you can give up the authority to set
Correct.
salaries. And if they say no, then really.
Right.
I think they're going to say no.
I believe for the most part, I think there's I think there's probably some narrow things because of this, the way it's organized. I think there are some things you can do, but how far that scope goes, I don't know. And that's what I need to know. But again, I can't be on both sides of it, right? I mean, I need to be on the other side of it and we need an attorney on this side and that way we come up with a good, clean item.
Yeah.
But so based off of that.
I
think-
understand where I understand where you're coming from now.
Yeah, great discussion.
I think we
And
can
so
talk about it.
we'll work on the
Can I say
attorney.
one thing real quick?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Weinhammer, so, our county auditors are on our individual payrolls, yet we get told what to pay them and their staffs. So, when Judge Kelly was talking about a while ago that, we really can't, tell Medina County, what to pay the attorneys when they're on their payroll. We in fact have situations in our county budgets today where we are directed what to pay people independent of what that county's, overall pay plan is, et cetera, et cetera. So we do have situations like that. And to me, I'm more in favor of the oversight board approving the salaries for the chief's staff as opposed to an independent county doing that. If that's just.
And I think, I hear you. I think that in some of those specific cases, though, that's actually laid out by
That's statutorily
that
mandated by the
statutory, where this isn't. So again, that comes back to that question of our legal counsel on our side about.
If we had authority to
Our
do it,
authority.
Don, we would.
Yeah,
But we don't. No offense intended. but-
excellent. Okay, so we'll get the attorney, Vanessa, for the next meeting. Would you, also make sure that agenda item, 6 and 7 both get back on the agenda, please?
Yes. Would you don't mind sparing before we get to agenda item 8, if I just ran the ladies room?
I'm sorry, say that
Would you
one.
mind if before we get to agenda item 8, if I just ran the ladies room?
Oh, no, actually,
No,
yeah,
we have to sit there and hold it.
yeah. Hey, online, we are gonna take, give a 5-minute recess. We're gonna mute the room and, take 5 minutes if y'all take a quick break. All right, looks like everybody is back. So I'll go ahead and we'll be back here in session at 11:03, and we're going to move to agenda item number 8. Discuss and consider employee salary supplements resulting from the TIDC temporary or one-time assistance grant for fiscal year 26-27. And just as a reminder on this, so this is a 2-year cycle. However, the 1 year was what's currently approved. They'll have to send us a second notification for year 2. Correct? Okay, but I think in the conversation I remember on the phone, they said, but it's actually funding for 1 year.
The salary was the 20% reduction is for the first year.
Okay, got it. Okay, all right, very good. All right, so Vanessa's over there. Vanessa unmuted us. I'm sorry, Carly?
Yes, so the first screen here that is shared is the recommendation that our office came up with our executive committee before on the supplements. I would like to set that aside and then go to the first paragraph that I did so I can kind of explain to you where we got the numbers. If you look at this first one, this is the prosecutor's offices in the region that handle felonies. And I've got like the chief or the elected DA, like a first assistant or a deputy. And then I put in 4 felony attorneys. This also has misdemeanor attorneys in it, and there's other positions afterwards. The reason I have 4 felony attorneys when our office obviously has more than 4 felony attorneys than some offices have less is I was just trying to give a range based on experience in felony attorneys, because there's some of our attorneys that have been with us for 5 years. We've tried, 20 cases, and there's some attorneys in our office that are felony attorneys that just got promoted in the last few months. And so that's the same for the VA's offices. So I wanted to I didn't want an unfair comparison. I didn't want the highest felony attorney versus our lowest felony attorney, or our highest felony attorney and their lowest felony attorney. So I kind of mixed with, on the open records request, I took their higher felony attorneys and compared them with ours, and their lower felony attorneys and compared them with ours, and just sort of to get a picture. So in this first chart, the salaries that our office currently have are in purple. So it is generally the 5th item, the 5th bar graph. And so across the board, we are lower than, the majority on almost all positions. What I'm requesting with the supplement is the green one that is next to that. I'm just trying to get us up a little bit closer towards the average. And considering that at the bottom, I put, Medina County Criminal District Attorney's Office serves 1 county and has a staff of 16. The Kendall County Criminal District Attorney's Office serves 1 county and has a staff of 24. The 216 serves 1.5 counties and has a staff of 9. The 198 serves 1.5 counties and has a staff of 7. And the HCRPDO serves 5 counties and has a staff of 34. So I wanted just to kind of give you all an idea of where our salaries were in comparison with prosecutors. So you all don't think that when we're requesting these supplements where they're just made up numbers. But then the next bar graph is with misdemeanors, because there's some prosecutors' offices that only handle misdemeanors. And so it's the same thing. So you guys can look across and kind of see where those salaries sit.
So Carly, they brought up Lucy Wilkie earlier, and I'm looking at that graph with her salary there. The reason that, and I want to make sure that they're aware of this, the reason that she was concerned about all of this and voiced her concerns very loudly, by the way, was because that salary that you're showing for her is with a stipend she gets from that SB 22 money. That's not her base salary that we're showing and we're doing this comparative with. And that SB 22 could essentially go away at some point.
Correct. And
I just want us to be sure that we're considering that whenever we're setting these salaries, because that could flip drastically at some point.
Correct. And this is a salary consideration for just the next 2 years. Just like SB 22 could go away, this supplement will likely go away after 2 years as well. This is just the supplement for the 2 years, 100% covered by the CIBC. Just to make us a little bit more competitive for the next 2 years. Because like I told y'all earlier, we lost one of our best attorneys, Eliza Thomas, I think Judge Jones probably knows her, left. It resigned day before yesterday, effective early March, because she got offered, a significant salary increase to leave. And so I'm trying, while we're in the process of figuring out salaries, with this 2-year grant, to supplement my employees' salaries so that we can keep them about average, or, at least closer to the average, so that I don't have so many retention issues. We have really good retention in our office. Our office works really well collaboratively, but I can only do so much morale-wise to keep people when they're offered more money elsewhere.
Right,
But yes,
I'm not saying that I'm opposed to anything here.
No,
I'm just
I
stating
agree.
this is the same figures that we saw last year when we were setting the salaries in general. And I didn't think that we should be showing it with a stipend from SB 22 at that
So
time.
right
I think
now
it's
I'm-
appropriate to bring it in now because you're trying to show it, but I didn't think it was at that time.
Okay, yes, sir. Well, these do include any stipends they get for the SB 22 money. And what we're asking for is comparable to the stipend, because it's a 2-year supplement that could go away, just so everyone's perfectly clear on that. But this is what people are currently being paid. And so that is what we are competing against. But if you go to the next slide, and also flip to the next one, this is the PDO average salaries for groups around, which I think is the most relevant. And they don't get SB 22 money. So these are actual salaries of chiefs, deputies, felony averages, misdemeanor averages, office directors, legal assistants around in different other rural public defenders' offices. And the one with the star is where we currently are. And then the requested ones are next to it. So what I'm asking is for us to be made competitive with those offices as well. All of those offices, except for Concho Valley, has a smaller staff than we do. They all have a smaller case count than we do. We handle many more cases than they do, and we have a much larger staff than any of those offices. So except for Concho Valley has a larger staff or lower case count.
Carly, could you tell us where these are? Crossroads, is that Victoria?
Sure, Crossroads is in Victoria, and they serve 4 counties. Concho Valley is in San Angelo and Abilene, and they serve very, very rural, where, some of the counties only have, a couple of cases a month. The North Hill Country is Blanco and Mono and
Burn
Burnett, yes. And then far west is way El Paso and then down the border. It's a huge region.
it. Brewster and all those
All
guys.
this county, yes, sir, and then ours. So I did try to I tried to get all the ones that were close, that were multi-county BDO offices. And I didn't compare this at all with the cities.
Metropolitan.
Yeah, because that's a completely different thing. So, but as you can see, our felony average isn't extremely low in comparison with them, and our misdemeanors a little bit lower. But my deputy chiefs are really struggling, and my salary was quite a bit lower than anyone comparable. And then the last one. What is that? Would you do the last one? See what I'm looking at. I think this is just averages across, oh yes, the last one's just average prosecutor salaries. I have an average PDO and average prosecutor salaries, the next two. So it's just the average across the board instead of doing the felony like I did for their multiple. Because I wanted people to see, their felony attorneys have a wide range of salary, our attorneys have a wide range of salaries, and this is just simply averages. Everything that's behind that is the data that I used to compile those, the open records requests I did from the different offices. But these are the supplements. The very first slide I have, the supplements that I'm requesting. These are for 2 years. They started October 1st. welcome any questions about why I selected what I did. But that's what we're asking for. It is less than what Beverly had requested. She requested a certain percentage to cover the unemployment and all the other insurances. And it's, I think the number you gave us was, what do we need people to know? We're gonna leave past $10,000 under to cover additional costs.
Say it again.
She had wanted some of the, like the unemployment insurance, she wanted us to go like about $10,000 down from what we cover that cost. And so this is a little more than that.
So the actual grant is about 140, what was it? 148.
So-
Yeah, this is-
34
so-
So make room for
So
that.
what is your benefit package in Medina County? 20% of the salary or
Yeah,
25?
the total percentage.
Total
the
benefit package, what percentage is it? 25, something like that, 30?
Yes,
Approximately 17.
yeah, I thought it was 17%.
17?
And so we didn't have to reconsider the health insurance and things like that. So without that, we took it and came down the amount that they recommended.
So what happens in 2 years when this grant goes away and everybody's salary gets cut? You're gone?
Yep. In some cases.
I mean, that,
If,
you get used to getting an extra 17,000 a year in 2 years. You say, oh, by the way, your salary's gonna be reduced by 17,000.
and we've discussed that in our office extensively. If this, I mean, the grant's already been approved, we've already accepted the grant for the salary subsidies. And I've explained to my staff, your salary very, very likely will go down in 2 years. But I also am hoping in the next 2 years to get our salaries through budget up to a more competitive level. So after 2 years, we're not having to ask for a grant to make our salaries competitive with the rest of the region. But they also understand that it could not happen. And that, I mean, it's like the senior felony defenders, the public defenders that have been there for a while, they're getting about a $5,600 raise. That's in the younger felony defenders, 4,400. Investigators, about $4,000. We're not asking for raises bumps for our misdemeanor public attorneys, our misdemeanor public defenders, because all of them are very new to our office and they have just gotten a salary bump after they passed the bar. So they have just received a significant raise. And we're not asking for any salary increases for vacant positions because we would be hiring people at what they are and then moving on, make it, more appropriate.
I thought y'all just lost a misdemeanor attorney.
We just lost a felony.
I thought y'all had a misdemeanor one that you went somewhere else.
Oh, yes, really? I'm sorry?
This meeting attorney that went to the Gillespie County and now is at.
Oh, yes, we lost for salary,
And it was over salary.
over salary. We
Right.
lost a felony and misdemeanor.
And that was the one in our salary survey that we said those were low. Like we weren't paying them enough.
The, felony
Misdemeanors.
attorneys were not.
No, misdemeanors.
That was prior to any salary bump at all.
Okay.
But the felony attorney she was about an average felony attorney salary. She got hired out and she got poached. And we're really sad to see her go. She's sad to leave, but I mean, she wants to start a family and I mean, money's money.
So, I guess I'll make my comments first and then everybody can chime in. Part of this, we're right back at where we were in the other discussion item a while ago. I'm not in favor of supplements. I am not in favor of doing it this way. I'm gonna go back and just say that, which I've shared multiple times, the salary study that we did. I stand by the study that we did in the county. I feel like we have a very good tool. I don't stand by the salary survey that was done by TIDC. I feel like it's nothing but a survey that at some point, some of those salaries are way more than what they should have been paid, but they kept asking and asking and getting the money. And so now it's all lopsided. I'm in favor of the supplement. I share the same concerns you do. I believe that anybody, when you start doing significant amount of money, most people change their lifestyle to fit that. And so when it goes away, we got another issue. So my opinion of this is that we should there's 30 positions in that office, correct? We have 35 positions. I thought we had 30.
There's only 30,
It's
slide in mental health.
So it won't count as a mental health.
Yeah, it doesn't count mental health. There's 30 of those positions. And my personal opinion is we should take this money and it should be divided by the 30 positions at $4,480 a piece, divided evenly, supplementing them based off of, again, everybody is well above the midpoint that we used in the county, and I made adjustments for the PDO. And that we should use the supplement and divide it evenly among the people. That's my opinion. I'm sorry?
With all due respect, please, do you really feel like my work is worth $20,000 less than all the other chief public defenders in the region? I mean, I just don't.
First of all, I'm going to tell you that on yours in particular, and we hadn't got there because we don't have an agenda item. One of the things you and I have talked in the past, but we got this whole thing going on about how we're figuring all of this out. Which obviously by now needs to come back to this board. One of the items I want on the next agenda item is to figure out about what's still remaining in the budget for years. That's a separate issue from this. But at the end of the day, just me. I mean, I use a salary study. I want to be fair to everybody. And anything else that we're doing is in my opinion, is like arbitrary. I mean, at some point you got to base everything off of something. Or else what are we doing? Taking these averages. I mean, again, what TIDC, all they did was send out a survey and said, how much is everybody getting paid? It doesn't mean that that's what the salary should be. And I'm not arguing that somebody's not making a bunch more, but is that why did that happen? And I think a lot of it is because you have a government organization up there that they didn't know. It's okay, well, we need more money. And so now some of it is arbitrary.
And where I would like to start is the governing authority behind these funds. Is this a grant?
There's a 100% paid grant, yes,
Okay, from TIDC?
Correct.
for 2 years
Okay, and who was the grant awarded to?
to the public defender's office.
To the office. So that means we have oversight over it? Okay.
Well, it's actually, it's awarded to Medina County. The grants to Medina County. I mean, the grants to us as the fiscal agent.
So, well, that's what I'm trying to find out. So it's the grant to Medina County, but as the fiscal agent for the board,
Correct.
right?
Does the grant have a name?
Yeah, it's what's on the agenda, the one time.
PDI temporary.
We used it. Yeah, it's weird, but it's,
Assistance grant. That's very general. Okay.
it is. And that's a whole nother issue with them. A lot of the confusion that we had in the past was they named some of the grants almost exactly the same, and so we're trying to do a better job of making sure we have clarity on that. Because I think we had 2 of them, right, Carly, that had the same name on them?
Well, let's just call it assistance, so we know what we're talking about.
Yeah, but this is
This is from
assistance.
TIDC, assistance. It comes to the board, but goes through our fiscal agent. Okay, so Medina County has it. Does it specify how the grant is to be awarded? Like, if we go back to SB 22, we know who has control over those funds, right? But that's an SB 22. That's a statute. That's not from a government agency such as TIDC.
These grants came from supplemental funds from when they shut down Operation Lone Star. It's
Okay.
had funds left over.
Well, but that's where it comes from, but it gets awarded to us somehow collectively. And is there any restrictions on how we spend the money?
Well, when we applied for the grant was applied for to supplement salaries in order to,
So Medina County applied for the grant
Specifically to supplement for salaries.
to supplement for salaries, and so you got it. And so now Medina County comes to the board with a recommendation of how to allocate those funds. Wouldn't that be the normal process? I'm asking.
I mean, what we've always done in the past is the board set my salary and I always have set my employees' salaries
Well,
within the budget.
I don't mean to parse words, but you know, I am a lawyer.
Right, and that's.
So, but I think you make recommendations to the board or to Medina County. Actually, goes to Medina County first. Medina County then makes recommendations to us. Isn't that the?
And I agree with you, and in Carly's defense, what she says is also how it was being done, but that is problematic.
And
They were just
also,
letting
the budget that was
them make the
approved
decision.
by Medina County this year had our salaries attached to it. And that was what was approved by the board and then it was approved by the board. And then I understand it was changed by the auditor's office and then presented to Commissioners Court in Medina differently than what the oversight board saw.
Yeah, the only thing that was changed,
We ought
it
to
was
unpack
changed
that
to,
somehow.
it was changed to we're using our salary study. That's it. There's nothing,
So-
it's like, that's what we're using. And we didn't actually, most of them are well above
Well,
it. so
I'm trying to
we're
get
not
back to the use of the
going
word
back.
recommendation versus determination. The actual decision is made at what level? Recommendations, we understand your staff, you and your staff make recommendations.
We did budget and did salary recommendations. They were approved by the oversight board. Medina County changed what was approved by the oversight board and presented their salaries to the commissioners.
But that's already water under the bridge, right?
Right, but my question is,
Well, it is water under the bridge. Did we do it right? Is what I'm really questioning.
my question is though,
Mhm.
what if Medina County increased everybody's salaries by $30,000 and spent all the other counties' monies without their authority? Like,
Let's not go into the what if shit, because at the end of the day, the fiscal agent is the one that makes the recommendations to this board. You're making recommendations to the fiscal agent. Fiscal agent make recommendations to the board, and we either approve it or not, because it has to go back to the individual counties.
And we're doing that in budget season as part of budget,
Right.
is when we did that.
Can we go back to your question? Does the grant stipulate how it's to be distributed, whether it can be divided evenly, if it has to be a scale, et
It does
cetera?
not stipulate.
It does
that.
not.
Correct. It does not stipulate that. It was just a bulk amount of money
That's what I
for
suspect.
salary supplements. It does not.
and
Well, and because if it says that the DA gets to decide how much money they have to supplement their salaries. We've seen that in SB 22s because we don't have control over them.
Right.
As county judges, we're sitting there looking at this, there's nothing we can do when the legislature tells us that's what we have to do with.
Correct.
This is a typical grant that comes in and it's going to be discretionary. Okay, and so when it's discretionary, whose discretion does it go through first? And I think in what I'm hearing is your office took a look at it and exercised your privilege of making a recommendation of how you would spend those funds.
right, based on the employee's experience.
All good. I'm not disputing the criteria that you use to base it on. I'm just saying, who's going to make the decision? You make a recommendation to Medina County. Then Medina County has to make a recommendation to us. Now, I don't know if we got cart before the horse or any of this stuff, but it seems like to me that at the end of the day, Medina County's got to make a recommendation to this board that we can take back to our individual counties, the 5 counties, to see whether or not they approve. And if they don't, that trickles back up and we got to do it relatively quickly because budget season is has such a short window. And we're talking about, this is for.
No,
we're
this
talking
is
about
already in exist. This is right now. This is money that came in as a grant after we did our budget. We now have additional funds that came in.
Then I would have the question for our lawyer, if we had the lawyer before us right now, is can we compensate people for services performed in the past, or is that a gift of public money?
We were told that this grant started October the 1st.
Right.
But it wasn't awarded October 1st.
No, it was awarded before October the 1st. It's
To
just
Medina County.
to Medina County. So they've had the funds since October 1st to supplement salaries.
But even if they decide to, and let's just say we're sitting here at January 23, right? Okay. The funds have been available since the 1st of September. But do we go back and compensate? Do we backdate those entitlement?
No,
Entitled
what our plan would be for the county is we would just take,
From that day
starting
forward.
now and divide it. It would just be more per pay period.
So if we change it to February 1, you'd be paying it from February 1 if that were your pay period.
Correct. So is like my figure of that divided in 44.80 a month, it would still be 44.80 a month. But If it was going to be February through the end of the fiscal
And
year, it would
that
be
question
that
is
divided
important
by
to me
days.
because I don't want to do something illegal that we're all going to get indicted for. I'm not sure that we can give funds, we can pay funds to people that worked under contract salaries. Okay. For services performed in the past. I know on the school board, I had to sit down and have a come to Jesus meeting with the administration that I didn't want to be indicted for what they were doing.
We can verify that, but I do believe that we can do that going forward. I believe
Ruby,
we've,
Ruby, who's the auditor, told me, or told us when we were waiting at one of the meetings, that it could be backdated to October 1st, but it wouldn't matter if the funds. could
yeah,
start
we're really
from-
not gonna backdate anything.
It doesn't
We're just
matter.
gonna take the funds from now and divide it, whatever we want to do from now through the rest of the pay
well, I would
periods.
do what my lawyer told me to do.
But I will, we'll double check, but I'm almost, I think we did check on that actually, but we will double check that.
But my feeling, and my feeling is pretty strong about this, like we have employees that just started as legal assistants within the last 6 months, and they're gonna get the same supplement as, you know, Karen and Anthony, who works here for 5 years and tried 25 cases. I mean, it's not the same, dividing it evenly to me
It
is,
depends on what the legal requirements are for the grant that's
it
given,
isn't, it's just supplement salaries.
but it's given to Medina County. And Medina County makes that recommendation to us. And we either accept it or not. And if we accept it, we roll it into our respective budgets. We got to go back and get approval for that.
So I have
Well,
a
this one,
question.
there's not a change in
I know.
the respective budgets. Cause all of this, there's no impact to anybody's budgets.
It's no match.
It's 100% covered because we're taking the fringe and everything
Got it.
out of the grant. There's
Got it.
no, yeah, we're good on that. We don't have to go back to the agencies. So it's just a matter of
Yeah,
dispersing it.
question.
So Chairman, if I may, my first question is, would you consider as the administrating agency, our feedback to you? Like, let's say that that's correct. At the end of the day, you get to make that decision. I would think you would consider our comments, correct?
Correct.
I would
Okay.
hope.
And the second thing, I would like to understand why you, and you perhaps would do this in your own county, and I guess every county is different, why you would be against dividing it the way she's presented versus distributing it evenly. Would you just kind of let us get into your reasoning on why you would do that?
Well, again, I'm gonna go back to, if I look at the salary studies. I mean, obviously, if somebody was extremely low, which we make sure they're not, I mean, if you go down, and I'm not doing by individuals, I'm doing by positions. If you take that, they're already all in line. So basically, we're doing all on, I mean, so why would I add? These are supplements, these are bonus money on top of funds, not like somebody's short on salary. Now, of course, depending on what I'm just going by the salary study document. Not the other, which, I mean, you could beat this up 1,000 ways, right? But if I'm going back to how we are budgeting and what we're doing and the money and the effort we put into having a good product that I could hang my hat on that says, I feel good about this,
Mhm.
you know? Then to me, if we've done that part of it, it's not, if I was looking at my salary study and it said this position is 15,000 low, I'd be, oh yeah, well, I'll add 15,000 there because I can justify it. But to me, if we've already said we're at the benchmark on everybody, again, just by the study, then to me, it's like, then, okay, then these are then divided evenly and give everybody the same amount of money.
Because it's a bonus.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
What's
for-
that?
That's my problem.
Bonus is a bad word.
Yeah, it's
It's
a
a supplement.
supplement. Yeah.
Well,
Supplement.
he's
A
using
supplement.
that in a term, a more general term,
Yeah,
not a,
but
not a.
I know the generic use of it, but
Yeah, but
it gets
supplement.
Yeah,
confusing.
but it sounds like Carly's trying to use it as a longevity incentive.
Yes, sir.
What
Yes,
was-
sir.
What was the question?
He said, I'm trying to use it as longevity.
Well,
People who have been
we-
here and worked.
We have longevity pay. Let's not, we have that also. So everybody gets longevity through the county. That's another benefit.
But
So
no,
I would,
because-
this isn't longevity pay.
But I'm trying to use it as longevity pay because people in our office don't get longevity pay until they've been with Medina County for 5 years. And we have people who have been with the office for 5 years, but they were with Kerr County, so they're not qualified for longevity pay.
But if it goes away in 2 years, it's not very long.
But by then they will have been 5 years with Medina County. And then they would qualify for Medina County longevity.
You have a year and a half left that you're gonna have money. You've already wasted half a year.
Roughly.
So are we taking action on this today?
That's, we keep kicking the can on it. So
Do it today.
We really should.
Yes,
As
agreed.
thorny as it is, we really should.
Okay, but.
I think I understand that. Go ahead, Judge.
It's still back to my question. If we say, okay, this is what we want to do as oversight board, and we send it to Medina County, you say, no, we're not going to do it. You have that right now to do that. So our recommendation could be vetoed by your
By the court.
right?
By the court.
I mean, but make sure I understand.
It kind of creates the, the thumbs up, thumbs down dilemma for everybody. We could go along with it and stay in the group or not. But at the end of the day, they make the final recommendation to this board. I agree with that.
Well, I think we make a recommendation to them.
I mean, we're spending the same amount of money.
Well,
It's a matter of how we're dividing it.
You confuse me.
No, I hear what you're saying.
If we say, okay, we agree with this, and we send it to Medina County, this is what we would like you to do with the supplemental money,
They don't have
and
to.
they say, we're not gonna do it.
Then it flows back up to us to what are we going to do? Which is a thumbs up, thumbs down.
Doesn't impact our budget, doesn't impact our local agreement.
Doesn't impact
And
us.
so there's no violation of the local agreement.
But this is all. It doesn't affect what we're spending per county. It's all covered in this.
And if I understand your position, Carl, as the PDO chief, is this is a supplement from the state. It's like found money that you find on the sidewalk, you pick it up. It's not affecting our budgets. It's a one-time thing, or it could be repeated. It just depends, kind of like some of these other grants that we get. We don't know if we're gonna get them the next cycle.
And this will probably go away.
Pardon?
This will probably go away because
Probably.
it's Operation Lone Star money that it wasn't spent and
Yeah. So it's really just an excess.
you
They're trying to
got about a
distribute out
year and a half to spend it.
So what would be your motion that you're gonna present
Ooh.
if you're wanting to take action today?
So my motion would be move to accept the TIDC temporary or one-time assistance grant FYI, starting February 1st and dividing that money evenly among all the employees. And that's not a motion, by the way, that's just
Right,
a motion that could be made.
right, agreed. Yeah, and
The motion that you would make.
we've accepted the grant.
Did you make a motion?
No, we haven't accepted the grant. We have to accept the grant.
We've been waiting to do.
Yeah, we're waiting to figure it out to actually do the acceptance.
We've been
on
asking
our side.
questions. I guess we,
Right.
we probably need a motion on the table to further discussion.
So,
Well, let me be controversial. I'm just gonna make a recommendation that we accept the recommendations from TIDC distributed per their recommendation.
Or the PDO,
Huh?
on my recommendation.
On your recommendation. Yeah, yeah. So I'm recommending that we accept the money, we spend the found money. Now, what do we want to do with it?
You wanted two-step motion?
For what?
well, we can do it. We just need to accept and to do.
I move we accept the grant, okay? Let's accept the grant.
Okay.
Okay, I have a
I'll
motion.
second that.
I have a motion and a second to accept you read it. The TIDC temporary or one-time assistance grant for fiscal year 26-27 funding. Any other discussion?
We got a second. Who's the
I
second?
second it.
Okay,
Judge
Kelly second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
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 All right, all ayes. So now down to how we do it.
I'm just gonna start with a motion.
Okay,
Okay, so we can debate it. That we accept the recommendations from our PDO chief. As presented. I
I'll
expect that to
second,
be hotly debated.
I'll second it so we have discussion. Right,
okay, I have a motion and a second to,
well, this
To-
discussion.
I know, but I have a
Okay.
motion and a second to distribute the funds as recommended on the request form. Any discussion?
Oh, yeah.
Is that the one that we were looking at earlier in the deck?
Right.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And I made the motion for the whole enchilada. So we can talk about what we really want to do here. And I understand where you're coming from. But is pro rata really the best way to use this money? That's the question. And I understand your salary study, but this is found money for indigent defense. Right?
Yes, sir.
So do each one of the people deserve the exact same amount? No matter what their job responsibilities are, what their service has been? That's the real question, isn't it?
Yes.
In salary studies, I'm not questioning the salary study, but this is spending found money. This is not going back into the system. And they probably won't get this money next year, year after.
Well, next year, this is 2 years. This is per year for 2 years. So just, I mean, this is half of the money.
Into the second year, will it be readdressed also? I mean, that's another consideration. I mean, like the second year, is it gonna have to come back up for consideration again? Because of course you've lost people have left, people have, so you've got a brand new misdemeanor attorney where you had an attorney, that was there for
Each fiscal
4
year
years.
has to be done separately.
It's gonna have to be, I mean,
Yeah,
to
is,
be fair.
because are we gonna have,
Other thing.
the question is on the $148,000, we'll have to do this again and accept it for next year, right?
My understanding is once we approve this, is gonna be set in stone, and we don't have to come back for. Because
So this is just the first half of it, but we don't have to come back and reapprove for the second year.
No, I think it would be the same amount.
So I guess my question is on the second year, is it gonna be distributed the same
I
way?
think,
I mean, cause that would make
I think.
a
if we-
determination for me whether we're gonna split it evenly or whether we're gonna go with the PDO's
If we
recommendation.
accept the grant, the acceptance is for the biennium, right? For the 2
Right,
years.
so we'll
Okay, but if
accept
we-
it, but on that
if we
second
take-
year,
we-
are we going to
For
distribute it the same way?
Okay,
Are we gonna let PDO decide how to distribute it, or
So
the chief?
if the motion is to approve this, we could do it for this fiscal year and then come back next fiscal year and reconsider. Could we not?
And in all candidness, I don't know if we have the authority to do that.
Right.
But I'm on the favor that we have the authority unless somebody feels it's,
So my 2 cents is this is a temporary solution. And I think I look at it as, and I know it's not the word, it's a bonus, it's a supplement. And I would be agreeing along Judge Lutz's line to divide it evenly. So this money is going to set expectations in people for salary, and it's not a salary.
well, and it will, I agree with you that it's not a salary. But it will set expectations. And what I'm concerned about is, are we going to lose, we're going to have a brain drain at the top of the compensation scale here, because I got the same thing as the person at the bottom got. If that's the case, that's not going to be good for operations for PDO.
I guess that's a risk that we face every day in any kind of business and industry.
I think it is. And so, but I'm not a socialist. I don't believe in dividing it evenly. I believe in dividing it on the basis of merit. And so I would think that your senior people are definitely entitled, I would think, unless they've gotten bad reviews that I don't know about, that they would be getting more than someone that is brand new to the office.
Well, then they don't have to give this money to the other person that just coming in either. It's not a requirement.
Well, so the question is, or do we go through and cherry pick how much each one gets? Is that what we do?
No, I think it's by the positions. I'm saying they can adjust in the salary. On the salary side of somebody if they have a new person coming in.
Well, I'm worried about
There's
your salary
always-
study, right? Because I know you're locked into that, pretty much.
Right.
But this is not salary that we're dealing with here. This is found money, as I call it. And so how you distribute the found money, I would argue is, it would be better to distribute on the basis of merit than it would be on the basis of simple employment status. If you're an employee, you get X amount, period. Everybody gets the same thing.
You could have a separate budget for this grant, just like we did SB 22, that would not impact the base salary.
Well, since it doesn't impact our budgets, I think we can do that. If it impacted our budgets, we'd have to go back to the
Yeah,
county,
right,
but we don't have to do that. So we've got this, what, $140-something-thousand over here. We get it
148
like 2 years,
Correct. It's almost 300.
of money that
But I still say we should be able to do this for each year. I don't know, we'd have to lock it.
I think they're locking in the total sum.
Yeah.
I think the allocation of the total. I think you're probably right that we ought to be able to do
I
that.
mean, the motion could be that this is what we're gonna adopt for this fiscal year.
But I don't want to turn his salary study completely upside down. Because that's what everybody's gonna have to live with when the found money's gone.
The adjustments that are bigger are for the top personnel. Generally, across the board, it's about $4,000 to $5,000. It's not a life-changing amount of money that people are going to.
Which makes it look more like a bonus remember when I talked about, it wasn't bonus and supplement, but we're using the supplemental funds to bonus certain employees.
But
Right.
I see it as just
That's
trying, I
that's
agree
what
with Judge,
put into the
what I'm really
budget.
trying to do is just get
This is what
salaries
got put into the
competitive
budget.
in the region so that.
You're trying-
my deputy-
you're trying to teach your
employees fair.
She doesn't know.
But to the point of Judge Lutz, and we've already said that we're using the Medina, because he said we're using the Medina survey, so the salaries are where they need to be, therefore they buy that study, they don't need to be brought up, and if they don't need to be brought up, everybody's where they should be, and it's found money that could be distributed evenly, because it sets expectations otherwise to do so, that where, if you're worth that much money now, then shouldn't you be worth that in 2 years, and where's that money gonna come from in 2 years? And so I think that's not being fiscally conservative, and I'm not a socialist.
We agree on that.
So right now, the chief salary adopted this year is 146, is that what it is?
Well, what's in the budget, yes, that 145,77268.
145.
Yeah,
But my salary is not 145.
it's 142,217.25. Right,
No, I think it's more like that. You're getting 146.
be 142,
Maybe that's it.
142,217.25.
And under the system that we work under, that still is your salary,
Correct,
regardless of what we do with this found money.
correct.
Right.
So I'm saying you need a separate budget for this.
Well, this is Medina County's budget,
Well,
and that doesn't get disturbed.
And then that's correct.
You're gonna have,
I mean, we will go in and we will make a budget adjustment because we'll have to bring this money in. But
Yeah,
it's not affecting like our expense because all the fringe, everything's coming out of the grant money. So it's,
okay, but I'm really confused. We accepted a grant. We don't have authority to accept a grant. You had to. accept
that's
the
correct. We have to accept it,
We-
but
so why did
We
do-
approved,
well, we still want that the
we
board,
approved accepting the grant.
this group is in favor of doing this. That's great.
Okay.
Yeah, we
I
have to
guess
still officially accept
Technically,
it.
the motion could have been, we agree for you to accept the grant.
Correct.
Well,
But
But
close-
y'all,
I think that's what it ought to be.
y'all have accepted the grant.
No,
No.
we've been waiting to get through this so we can
So- so
accept the grant.
The
and what are
county
we
does
gonna
not
do?
accept it.
That's
Oh,
correct.
so the motion be, we recommend, Oversight Board recommends that the county accept.
And let me just amend my motion to make that. Make it
Well,
a
it's already been
recommendation.
that motion was already adopted,
Yeah.
so then
I'll
you'll,
make another motion that it be a recommendation to Medina County.
You rescinded the,
Yeah.
You
have to rescind the motion.
Send the first motion.
second,
Okay, I have a motion to rescind the previous motion on the acceptance of the grant.
Kelly,
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Aye. All in favor, aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. All right, so that, we have that. So now
Now I make a motion that we recommend that Medina County accept the grant.
Well, hold on, we're still in the middle of this. We still got a motion out here on this thing. We have a motion still on what we're doing with these salaries. We still have a motion and a second on division of the salaries.
Which can't
We need
move
to-
forward until.
Yeah, we need to take care of where we're at. You made a motion to divide it based off of this, and we haven't finished this. We're in the middle of that, so we need to come back to this.
Should
other
that
item.
motion be withdrawn then?
The last motion was for
Yeah,
what,
it's
I
just-
guess.
It's no good. We're in the middle of this discussion, so we need to finish this and we can go back and fix this issue in a second.
I don't see much of anything getting fixed today. So whatever you want to do.
Well, I mean, we just need right now we're still discussion on the division of it.
I withdraw all my motions.
I think he has to, because I don't think this can proceed with the vote since we haven't.
Correct. Okay, you're just withdrawing your current motion.
I'm withdrawing any motion that I have on, that's active on the floor right now.
Okay, which was about how to divide the money. That was the active motion. And we had a motion by you and a second over here from Judge Evans. So motion's being withdrawn. All right.
That has
So-
to be passed.
What's that?
That has to be passed.
Correct, to withdraw the motion. So any discussion on withdrawing the motion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. All right.
We didn't have a second
Motion carries. What's that?
Did
Well,
we
he
have a
can
second?
withdraw his motion.
without a second.
Yeah, he can withdraw.
Okay.
Okay, so now we're back where we were a minute ago on the question of accepting the grant.
No, Keith, I think we're back to, where do you want us to be right now?
Well, I'm just.
Because I think, I don't want to waste any more time.
Yeah.
Just
I
tell us
think-
where you want
I-
to end up
I
at the end of the
think-
day.
I think all we just need a motion of recommending accepting the grant and what we want it to be,
So Judge, I move
which is your
to,
two things combined.
Judge, I move to, recommend that Medina County as the administering county accept the TIDC temporary one-time assistance grant for FY 2026-2027 funding. Will that work?
Second.
Okay, I have a motion from Commissioner Weesion, second by Judge Evans, that we recommend to accept the TIDC temporary or one-time assistance grant for fiscal year 26-27. Any other discussion?
I think that is a recommendation to recommend
Medina
to
County.
Medina County
Correct.
to
Right.
accept the grant.
I said Medina County.
Okay.
Yeah, I know
Yes,
you
she
did.
did. Yes, to Medina County. All in favor, aye.
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 All opposed, same sign.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. All right, now we're back to the distribution portion. So we need a motion to how we want to distribute it.
Judge, I move to advise Medina County as the administering agent to distribute the TIDC temporary one-time assistance grant for FY 2026-2027 as an even division among the staff members.
Okay, I have a motion to advise Medina County to distribute the TIDC temporary or one-time assistance grant for fiscal year 26-27 funding as even division among the employees. Is there a second?
Deafening silence.
Okay,
Was there a second?
no.
No.
All right, the motion dies for lack of a second. Do we have another motion? You want to make your motion?
No, I'm not making any motions. I'm listening.
I would move that we recommend to Medina County that we use the request as presented by the PDO chief. And recommend that we set up a separate budget so it's not shown as a salary, but shown as a separate.
Well, it's be a supplement. It's as a supplement.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
not.
paid
but
as
not-
a supplement, not part of salary.
Okay, but yeah, so the next group that we come in, we know what we're looking at.
I second it.
And that's for 1 year. It's my motion for this fiscal year.
Okay, Judge, Commissioner Jones, is that you?
Yes,
Okay, are you still good with that?
I am.
Okay. Okay, so I have a motion by Judge Evans, second by Commissioner Jones, to advise Medina County to distribute the funds
To request.
request this
Not
distribution of the TIDC temporary or one-time assistance grant funds for fiscal year 26-27 for 1 year, as recommended by the PDO chief. Did I get that right?
Yep.
All right, I have any discussion on that item? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
I,
Aye.
Is it all ayes? I'm sorry, online, did everybody do an aye on there?
yes,
Yes.
Yes.
Just raise your hand so there's no question.
No vote. You and I,
Nay.
a nay? Okay, well, I hadn't done the nays yet. All opposed?
Nay.
Nay and nay. So and one abstention. So we got two opposed, one, and what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4? 4, so motion carried. Well,
Okay,
one-
who opposed?
Me,
Weejan, Lutz,
That's
That's
it.
it.
and then we had an abstention.
Judge Kelly.
Kelly abstained.
And then we have Weinheimer, Jones, and Ivy in the affirmative.
Jones, and Evans.
Yes. So I make a
And
motion-
Evans,
Since I make a
yes,
motion,
and Evans, I'm sorry,
Weinharmer, Jones, Evans, and Ivy. Okay. In
Got it.
favor.
And and that's a request that DD County adopts it, but you might not.
Oh, well, this is true.
I mean,
But I got
that's
it.
my
I got
point.
it.
We're still just recommending.
Okay.
Until your court meets and says up or down, or you can say,
Yeah.
okay, we're gonna come in, we're gonna reduce maybe add more to the lower level, reduce the top. You have the option to do that, because ours is just a recommendation.
Judge, when would you let us know what you ultimately decide?
Well, we won't have commissioners court we have court on Monday, so it'll be 2 weeks before we get it to court. February 9th?
February 10th? Oh, y'all the Monday?
Monday.
Okay.
Yes, February 9th. would
So
be when we get it to court.
you will have to accept the grant and
That's
then,
correct.
and then create a budget to spend it unanticipated revenue.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Now, here's a question. Since we did move to recommend that the budget be accepted, can we start that funding on February 1st? Since the money would be in play
No,
already?
we'll have
or
to get through court.
We'd have to go through.
Yeah, we have to go through court.
So it
with all
wouldn't
of
be
it.
till after the
Yeah.
9th. Okay,
Yeah,
thanks.
yeah, because we'll have to do that. We'll have to do all the paperwork that goes with it.
Because right now, all we're asking the county to do, please accept the grant. Please
And
distribute
distribute it
based
according
on
to
this
this.
for a 1 year cycle,
Got it.
and that's it.
Got it.
Right?
That's it. That's
And
what I
next
got.
year, y'all can argue it out. 'Cause I'm here.
You will be, because it's gonna happen during budget. It's bad news, Judge. All right,
I don't have an employment contract. I could be gone tomorrow. So-
okay. All right, anything else? Any items for next round before we adjourn?
So are we gonna, if you get an attorney, we'll have to put it on the agenda to.
Yeah,
to
I got
retain.
it down. I got the membership policies down for next time. I already mentioned a minute ago, I want to bring Carly's the salary question on hers on the increase, because that needs to come here. So we need to add it on as well. So we can,
We'll need to have an item to select an attorney.
That's correct.
Right.
That's correct. Yeah, so if we can find somebody, we'll have it on as an action
Are we
item.
gonna interview multiples or just find somebody?
Let me see who's available and I'll reach out to y'all to
What do you
see.
think, Rob?
And then-
Should we interview several attorneys or just find one?
What I was gonna do is call
Mick.
and see what his recommendations
I
were.
think that's
And
great.
I would invite him, probably, to go ahead and call you
I
directly.
think as long as we can find somebody that is good, that has the knowledge to do it, that we don't.
We should need somebody that's experienced in local government. That's all we
Mhm,
need.
That's it.
I mean, this is January. We need some definitive answers before we start.
Yeah, definitely.
I
So,
mean, right.
yeah,
I
but if
don't
you'll
know.
do that, reach out to
Yes,
me. We'll get that going.
Do we have a future meeting date set?
No, do we have a date in mind for the next meeting?
Can we address that? It's not on the agenda. I just,
Yes, yeah, for next date.
We have to meet coordinated.
The next meeting would have an agenda item on the budget. Or would it be a sooner meeting?
Say that again?
Would the next meeting have an agenda item of the budget? That way it would slow into what Pepper meetings, or would it be a meeting that comes sooner? That way we don't make it too late.
My opinion is we need to have a special meeting if we need to have a special meeting
Yeah,
to the legal counsel. If we can do it by next month, do it by
I
next
agree.
month. And then we'll have some guidance and then we won't be what if and we'll know, we'll have somebody to rely on.
I agree. So how about rather than set the date, I think our most important thing is finding this person that we can set, because we're gonna need that person to say when they could meet also.
so we'll set a special meeting soon.
Yes, let's do that. We'll just leave it and then we'll,
To be
as soon
determined.
as we can find an attorney, we'll set a special meeting day. We'll send out
Okay.
a calendar, see if everybody could participate. We'll figure it out.
And we're okay with Zoom now.
Yes, we got
We
it.
got the blessing and nobody's gonna come after us.
Think
Well, we don't
got it.
know.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But it all worked. Thank you, Vanessa, thank you for setting all that up and it seemed like it all worked great. So thank you for doing that. Okay, anything from you guys online? Everybody good? If not, I'll go
Good.
ahead.
Judge
Oh.
Lutz,
Yes, sir.
on the discussion earlier about the policies, there was, a memo or something that was put up on the screen. Can we get that emailed to us that
Yes.
weren't there?
Vanessa, would you mind sending that to the entire
Yeah.
body? Thank you.
I thought,
I want a clean one too.
Yeah, Judge,
Let's
I'll
give
send
them
it
a
to,
month.
they're gonna electronically send it to everybody.
All right, thank you. That's all I have. Thank you, everyone.
I thought you were raising your hand to volunteer to be the fiscal agent. I was surprised.
Yeah, right. It's a fun job. You should. Awesome. Hey, thank you, everybody. I appreciate everybody's input and appreciate the technology run over here. So we're officially adjourned. Everybody stay warm. Make some soup.
Thank you.
Thank you.